From Alabama to California, we're watching your six, folks. Stay ready, stay free. And when the world goes crazy, what should we do? Drink up, sing it fast. It's the Denton and Sasquatch show. Two voices you ought to know. From prepping tips to politics, they tell it straight. No tricks from Dixie to the Golden Coast. Freedom's what they love the most. Download the podcast, let the truth roll on the Denton and Sasquatch show. This place is half talk show, half weird daycare. I love it!
Hello and welcome once again to the Denton and Sasquatch Show, coming to you live from both California and Alabama. My name is Sasquatch. I live in California. His name is Denton. He lives in Alabama. And somehow, through the modern wizardry we call the internet, we make it sound like we are in the exact same room. Except Denton doesn't have that wizardry at the moment. He's taking care of his mom still, for anybody that listens regularly. And he is also having some technical issues, which I had tonight. I'll tell you all about them because they're fascinating, trust me. So it's just going to be a solo show again with just me, little old me, and we'll try to get through this. So anyway, if you want to contact the show, you can always do so. We have an email. It is dentonandsasshow@gmail.com. dentonandsasshow@gmail.com. All right, so let's jump into, well, I've had a couple disasters lately. The one is the computer. I'll talk about that in a sec. I don't know, do you want to talk about the computer or you want to talk about the banana bread disaster? Well, let's do the computer really quick. All right, so I had to get a new computer. And my other one was like super old, like way old, dinosaur like me. So I ended up splurging and getting a computer. But the software I use to edit the show and to record the show doesn't work on my new computer. So I had to get a new one. And I just downloaded it today. So I've been messing with it, trying to figure out how to use it. It's kind of like my old one, but it, not exactly like my old one. So there we go. That'll make everything better. Had to get my IPA. Hold on a second. Oh, and it's just like got that crystal of ice in it because I had it in the freezer for a little bit. Oh, perfect. All right, anyway. So I had to get the software. I'm still trying to learn it. I hope this is going to work. It looks like it's recording like it's supposed to. So we'll see what happens. If you're hearing this right now, it worked. Let's just put it that way. So when I first downloaded this program, I started messing with it. And everything worked. I could pull in sounds. I could do everything. I just couldn't get my voice to record. And I'm thinking, oh, what is going on here? Because I had this problem once before, a while ago. So I tried the same things. Didn't work. And finally, as I'm messing around with it today for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, I look over and I see that the microphone is not plugged in. So the reason I couldn't hear myself recording is because the mic wasn't working. Something stupid like that. That's usually how it goes, but whatever. Like I said, I got my Lagunitas IPA, talking to you. All is right with the world. Except for last night. This may have frozen a little bit too much. That's all right. It'll warm up very quickly. So what happened last night? Well, it was the great banana bread disaster of 2025. Let me just tell you that. So I am walking through the kitchen, about 11 o'clock last night. And what do I see? I see bananas that are overly ripe. They got the black on them, real soft. And I'm thinking to myself, what? We don't want to throw these away. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to whip up some banana bread really quick. And I make a really good banana bread. It's banana bread, chocolate chip banana bread. And I make a good one. I just haven't made it in a really long time. Since I got married, my wife pretty much makes everything. So my cooking skills, kind of baking and cooking skills, have sort of gone out the window. But I didn't think about that at the time. And I started getting my ingredients ready. It was like I said, around 11 o'clock. I thought, about an hour, we'll whip this up, cook it. I think it's like 45 minutes or something it takes. And I'll be done and I'll go to bed. Well, I don't know where anything is in the walk-in pantry. So I'm digging through stuff, trying to find all the ingredients I need. I got almost all of them. Didn't have baking powder. Hop on my phone. Okay, I need a substitute for baking powder. Yogurt. Use yogurt. I'm like, we got yogurt. I'll do that. Okay, I get the yogurt. I worked out fine because it tasted fine. But anyway, it took me way longer than I thought it was going to do this because I was looking for all the stuff and looking stuff up, and it was a big mess. So I make the bread. I got it in the oven, and I go back to check it. And I always check my stuff a little early just in case, because you know ovens get weird sometimes. So I checked it a little early. I put the toothpick in, and for anybody that doesn't know, when you're baking something, you put a toothpick in, and if you pull it out and it's clean, that means it's pretty much baked. Because if you pull it out and it's got, chocolate on it or whatever, it's not done baking yet. So I put it in, and it's basically clean when I pull it out. And I'm like, well, there's no way it could be that clean. I figured there'd be a little bit of stuff on, and it was totally clean. So I'm like, no, I'm going to let it go for another 10, 15 minutes. So I do that, put the toothpick back in, cleaner than the first time. I'm like, that still doesn't seem right. So I'm going to let it go another 5-10 minutes. So I do that, put another toothpick in, clean as can be, clean as a whistle, put it all the way down to the bottom of the pan. And then I'm like, okay, you're telling me you're done, so you're done. So I pull it out, let it cool, put some tinfoil over it for the night, and by now it's like 2 o'clock in the morning after I clean everything up, and I'm not going to leave my wife with a bunch of pans and stuff, measuring cups and all that crap when I go to bed. So anyway, this morning I'm looking forward to it. I pull the thing off and the middle has sunk. I'm like, no. So the outsides got done. The middle did not get done. How I pulled out the toothpick without stuff coming with it, I couldn't tell you, because all indications said that it was done. So kind of bummed. But anyway, I did get to eat the ends of my of my chocolate chip banana bread, and it was good. It was really good. Hell, I might even eat the middle and just use a spoon. I don't know. But that's what happens when you don't bake for a while and you try to bake, and you're a guy trying to bake. That's sort of what happens. All right, moving on. Banana bread disaster is behind us. We'll never speak of this again. But if that wasn't a light note enough for you, let's start out on a light note. I found this meme over on X. And I know, a meme is a picture, and you can't see it, but I'll explain it, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. This is from a dude named Spank. Hey, Spank, you listening? Yeah, it did get a little frozen. Oh, come on. See, my day hasn't been all that great, but I'm still here doing a show for you. I'm a professional. It's for you people. We do it for you. Yeah, all right, Spank. He goes by @mentaldischarge. If you want to follow Spank, it is @mentaldischarge on X. Okay, so it's a picture of one of these gun rallies, and this lady's holding up a sign, and it says, "I dream women will one day have the same rights as guns." And then there's, next to it, a little thing says, "Okay, so let's just be clear. She wants to be locked up when not in use. She wants to be banned from airplanes. She wants to be banned from public schools. She wants to be kept out of government buildings. Businesses can post 'No Women Allowed' signs. She wants to be banned completely from New York, Chicago, and D.C. She wants women to be severely restricted in Hawaii and California. Women will not be allowed anywhere that alcohol is consumed. Carrying a woman will require a special permit. Women can't be carried openly. Women will be prohibited from having certain popular cosmetic accessories, and a man can only own multiple women, but only after a background check." So there you go, ladies. The no gun crowd. You really want all the rights guns have? I just thought that was funny. Nice little light way to start out the show. If that is not your cup of tea and you didn't think that was funny, you may not want to keep listening to the rest of the show. Denton and I decided we were going to try not to do so much politics and stuff, but I mean, sometimes it is what it is. All right. Did you guys see the Aurora Borealis? I couldn't see it in Southern California where I'm from, but on X, that's all people were doing is posting pictures of it. It's like, all right, we've seen it. It's a bunch of lights in the sky. Okay, great. But no, everybody had to post about it. So if you didn't get a chance to see it, well, all right, this is from the AP. New York. Solar storms brought colorful auroras to unexpected places on Tuesday night, and there could be more to come. Space weather forecasters confirm that storms reached severe levels, triggering vibrant northern lights in Europe, including Hungary and the United Kingdom. In the U.S., the hues were spotted as far south as Kansas, Colorado, and Texas. There were some impacts to GPS communications and the power grid. Sean Dahl of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration said in a video posted on X, "The uptick in solar activity forced NASA on Wednesday to postpone its launch of Blue Origin's new rocket-carrying Mars orbiter until conditions improved. Over the past few days, the sun has burped out several bursts of energy called coronal mass ejections. 2 have reached Earth, but at least 1 more is still on the way and could arrive sometime on Wednesday. Forecasters think this solar outburst could be the most energetic of all 3 and have issued a severe storm alert. How bright the auroras are and how far south they are visible will depend on when the burst gets here and how it interacts with Earth's magnetic field and atmosphere." Kind of makes me think of that movie, old 80s movie, Night of the Comet, I think was the name of it. A bunch of high school kids, and they were messing around in a... the funny part is they were messing around in a lawn shed, you know, those real flimsy aluminum lawn sheds. And so this big coronal mass ejection happened, and it turned everybody on Earth into like a zombie. And these kids were safe because they were in a lawn shed that was made of aluminum. Yeah, all right. But anyway. So, I mean, you know, this could turn into something big. So they said this one's going to be bigger. I mean, it could blow out the grid, and we'd all go back to the Stone Age. And then Denton and I would have to come to your house and actually do the show live for each and every one of you. Some of you like, that'd be cool. Okay. Oh, did you hear about this? Guess who's in the news again? after a very long while. OJ Simpson. That's right. The juice. I was just watching, it's been a couple weeks, but I was watching the Naked Gun movies. I laughed when I saw the juice. I thought, how things changed. All right, anyway, the O.J. Simpson estate has taken a key step toward paying Fred Goldman nearly $58 million, nearly 3 decades after Goldman won a wrongful death judgment in the civil case against Simpson, according to a report. Malcolm Lavergne, executive of Simpson's estate, has accepted Goldman's creditor claim for $58 million plus 30 years of accumulated interest, TMZ first reported. Goldman's son Ron was killed alongside Nicole Brown Simpson, O.J. Simpson's ex-wife, on June 12, 1994. Simpson was acquitted of the murders in what became known as the Trial of the Century. Simpson was later found liable in civil court in 1997 and ordered to pay $33.5 million in damages. Most of that judgment went unpaid during Simpson's lifetime. He died April 2024 at the age of 76. Can you imagine that? I mean, I'm guessing most of our listeners out there are probably around Denton and I's age. Denton and my age. I remember that trial. Everybody was talking about it. I remember people betting on it at work, and it was crazy time. If the glove fits, you must acquit, or doesn't fit, you must acquit. I think everybody from those trials is dead now. A lot of lawyers became very. I don't want to say popular. What would the word be? Well, they became famous. Their names just became famous. Alan Dershowitz, you probably heard of that name before. He was involved in it. A lot of people, even the Judge Ito. I remember his name. They had, I think it was Jay Leno at the time. He was doing the Tonight Show, and he had had all these guys dressed up like Judge Ito that kind of looked like him, and he had them dancing. It was the stupidest thing, but, I laugh at stupid stuff. Now you know where I get my sense of humor from. All right, where do we go from here? I had some stuff about AI I wanted to talk about, but I didn't get it all put together, so maybe I'll do that next week. But this right here, you ever heard of 2WI? It's the number 2 WAI, 2Y, but it's got AI in it, I guess. It's an app. The app uses AI to create lifelike avatars of deceased loved ones. Its ad features a woman interacting with an AI recreation of her late mother throughout major life events. The ad has been widely condemned as disturbing, manipulative, and ethically alarming. Critics on social media have called the concept evil, dehumanizing, and reminiscent of a Black Mirror episode. They question both the morality and monetization of grief and the dangers of turning real people into chat box-driven holograms with just a 3-minute video. Beyond default characters and historical figure recreations, 2Y's promise to resurrect real individuals has raised concerns. People worry about psychological harm, identity misuse, and the potential for loved ones' likenesses to be exploited for advertising or other unintended purposes. AI deadbots and holographic recreations have appeared before, from Kanye West's hologram of Rob Kardashian to services like Project December. I don't know what that is. But the scale and accessibility of 2Y have amplified fears that technology encourages people to avoid healthy grieving and to hand intimate memories over to private companies. So what do you think about this? You think it's kind of cool, or you think it's like creepy? I mean, if you guys want to chime in, you can always hit us up at the email, dentonandsashow@gmail.com. And if you are following me on X, you can always hit me up there too. Let's see, I am Denton and Sasquatch at Gmail, or no, I'm doing the email again. At Denton and Sass. That's on X. So you can get in touch with us. Either way, let us know what you think. And let's see. I think it's weird. I mean, I would love to be able to see my grandparents again, but not in some weird, like on a screen, and AI, and me already knowing they're passed away and talking to her again. It just seems weird. But that's just me. Some people may just be able to look right past it and be like, hey, Grammy, been wanting to talk to you for a while. Where'd you put that really expensive necklace that you used to have? All right. Enough of that. This is kind of long, and it's kind of not boring, but well, I'm really selling this, aren't I? Yeah, this is going to be really boring and long, but you guys need to sit and listen to it. Now, this is from jesterpolitics.com by a guy named Dr. Sean. And I met this guy on X. It's like anybody I know now is on X. I don't know any real people anymore. It's just X people, which is, formerly Twitter, just in case you've been living in a hole. But Dr. Sean from jesterpolitics.com told him I was going to read part of his article. And he said, have at it. So here we go. But this talks about we've all heard of it, and we've talked about it, but I don't think when I read this article, it just kind of like blew me away, because I knew about this, and everybody does know about it. They just kind of, I don't know, ignore it, don't want to deal with it. I don't know, and I'm kind of the same way. But when you start seeing everything that he's written in here, you see how much the government pretty much rapes us and takes all of our money. So here we go. All right. Starts off, this is America's hidden tax onslaught, the theft of 60% or more of every hard-earned dollar. Did you hear that? 60% of the money you earn goes to government in one form or another. So here we go. Picture this. You rise before dawn, brew coffee from beans imported and taxed, drive to work on roads paved by your property levies, punch the clock for 12 grueling hours, and receive a paycheck that government has already skimmed before it hits your bank account. That is the daily reality for the typical American family, scraping by on a median household income of $83,000 in 2024. A figure stagnant into 2025 amid whispers of economic recovery that never seemed to trickle down. By year's end, federal, state, and local authorities have confiscated at least 60% of that sum through a web of overt taxes, sly fees, punitive surcharges, and invisible penalties. This is not hyperbole. It is arithmetic. It is arithmetic grounded in cold, unyielding data. Federal revenues alone devour 17% of the nation's gross domestic product in fiscal 2025, totaling $5.23 trillion, while state and local collections average $7,109 per capita, pushing the aggregate government take to eclipse 28% of GDP when fees and indirect costs layer in. For the middle-income earner, the effective rate soars higher, often leaving families with pennies on the dollar after the full cascade hits. Then he goes on to talk about just some numbers here, but these are staggering. Federal effective rates average 14.5 across 153.8 million returns in tax year 2020. The bottom 50% of earners, those under $50,000 in adjusted gross income, shoulder just 3.7%. The top 1% earning above $663,000 cough up 26%, contributing 40% of the haul. Payroll taxes amplify the sting, claiming 16% of wages up to $168,000 for Social Security in 2025. Property taxes extract $3,992 annually on the average for a $300,000 home, equating to 1.1 of the median income. Excise taxes on alcohol, tobacco, and fuel add 1 to 2%. Vehicle-related registration fees at $50 to $200 yearly. Fees and surcharges, the stealth invaders pile on 5.5 to 7% via utility markups, license renewals, and service charges. Corporate taxes at 21%, federal plus 6.5 state average embedded into consumer prices, inflating your sales tax base by 5 to 10%. I mean, does this have your head spinning yet? Let's see, what else he's got? The fee facade, a calculated deception rooted in history and law. This part's interesting. Taking another swig of my beer, so give me a second. Yeah, I got cancer, so I'm drinking beer. Shut up. Anyway, governments did not stumble into this terminology trap. They engineered it. Did you hear that? They didn't just, it wasn't like, hey, look what we get. They sat down and said, let's write this. In 1950, user charges and fees nibbled at 1% of personal income. A footnote to direct taxes dominating 80% of state and local revenues. By 2025, fees have metastasized to 4% of income, outpacing property tax as the quickest expanding stream, with federal users' fees adding 1.5% more. This surge traces to the 1970s tax revolts, epitomized by California's Proposition 13 in 1978, which capped property levies and forced reliance on alternative streams. Politicians, allergic to voter-approved hikes, rebranded compulsory payments as voluntary exchanges, evading constitutional limits like Missouri's Hancock Amendment, which binds tax growth to inflation but exempts fees. So those rat bastards in D.C. found a way around it, like they always do. It goes on for quite a while. I don't know if I want to bore you with all this, but it's all interesting. I'll try to link this to the show if anybody wants to read it. Like I said, it's jesterpolitics.com. I just want to see if I want to read any of this. Life becomes a fee. Mobility starts with a driver's license renewal at $40 to $100 biannually. Vision fees at $20. Photos $10. All mandatory for employment. I mean, you don't even think about this stuff, but it's true. You have to have a driver's license. You got to have a social security card. You got to have, some kind of form of ID. You got to get all this stuff, and it adds up. Road tolls, I know about those. I had to drive them for 15 years, and some of I was paying $20 one way sometimes. Road tolls on bridges like New York's Verrazano at $19 a trip, or electronic gantries in Virginia averaging $3.50 per crossing. Extract per use atop gas taxes. Vehicles demand plate fees, $50 yearly. Transfer tax, 6 to 7%. Luxury surcharges over $40,000 at 10%. Gas guzzler penalties up to $8,000 for low mileage SUVs. You got your hunting license, your fishing license, your bike registration, dog permits, $50 to spay and neuter your pets. State park fees, $10 per car. Annual passes, $80. Watercraft registration, $50. Marriage license, $50. Passports cost you $130. The renewal is $60. Gun permits shouldn't cost you anything, but they do. California, $25 handgun roster fee. Trust me, I know all about it. I'm going through. I got to get my concealed carry permit renewed. $220 for the class. What's the other part? Then I got to pay the sheriff's department another like $125. It all adds up to, I don't know, about $500 for me to use, I guess is the best way to put it, to use my Second Amendment rights. I got to pay to use my. Can you imagine if every time you talked, you had to pay? It's a quarter every sentence that you use for your First Amendment rights, but got to make money. And the sad part is, like I said, we all just take it. We take it. The good news is the guy does have some answers. Here, I'll read this last paragraph. What? I just hit my keyboard. I hope I didn't stop recording. All right. Anyway, the reclamation roadmap: shatter the chains. Audit every fee as a tax, cap totals at 30%, sunset unused levies, vote reformers, litigate fictions. Your labor is yours, seize it back. Reclamation demands more. A multifaceted offensive against the Leviathan. Begin with transparency mandates, forcing annual true tax statements detailing every layer's bite from payroll to pump. Modeled on Sweden's clear ledger, slashing evasion 15%. States like Colorado, post-Tabor in 1992, capped growth to population plus inflation, returning $3 billion surpluses to voters. Blueprint for federal adoption via advanced budget amendment, limiting outlays to 18% of the GDP. So again, jesterpolitics.com if you want to read the entire article. It's a lot of numbers, but it's eye-opening, that's for sure. So I hope you guys got something out of it. All right. Let's see if we got anything else here. Didn't miss anything, did I? Nope. So that means it's time for Weird News.
It's time for Weird News.
With Denton and Sasquatch.
First up in Weird News, man bursts into flames. That's right. The incident occurred in the Qantas Airway Business Lounge, prompting the evacuation of 150 people. Firefighters responded to the scene, and the man was treated for burns to his legs and fingers before being taken to the hospital. So, what exactly happened? Did the dude just poof, turn into flames and go running around screaming? Witnesses described hearing screams and seeing smoke and flames as the power bank in his pocket ignited, sending battery acid flying everywhere. Quick-thinking staff and passengers helped the man into a shower to douse the flame. Okay, this happened in a lounge. How far away was the shower? And if they ran him over there, probably not a good idea, because, fanning flames, not a good idea. Quick-thinking staff and passenger helped the man into the shower to douse the flames. As reported by BBC News, the lounge was closed for cleaning and reopened 2 hours later. The incident highlights the risk associated with carrying lithium-ion batteries, which are commonly used in power banks. Now, you got to ask the question, did anybody have marshmallows? No? Not funny? All right, whatever. Okay, AP, Melbourne, Australia. This isn't really weird. I mean, it is kind of weird news, but it's kind of cool news too. Hundreds of bagpipers claimed a new world record on Wednesday by belting out AC/DC's rock and roll classic, "It's a Long Way to the Top." Billed as the Great Melbourne Bagpipe Bash, the eclectic performance took place in Melbourne's Federation Square on Swanston Street, which was the scene of the Australian hard rock band's 1976 film clip in which they played the hit on the back of a flatbed truck traveling slow through the downtown traffic with music blaring from the speakers. You remember that video, right? Federation Square is also a short stroll from the Melbourne Cricket Ground, where AC/DC is scheduled to play their first Australian gig in a decade on Wednesday. The oldest bagpiper there was 98 years old. Well, that's cool. The old man rocking out the AC/DC with the bagpipes. You ever seen that dude that does the bagpipes? He does AC/DC. I think he does Thunderstruck. And I don't know, he's got some way he's got flames that come out of his bagpipes. It's really cool. You can look it up on YouTube. Just put flaming guy or something. No, probably don't put that. Put bagpipe. I don't know. Just search bagpipe flame or AC/DC bagpipe flames or something like that. It should come up. But it's kind of cool. All right. Let me get another swig here. And we will finish this bitch out. For our last weird news story, and by far the strangest, comes from South Africa. Let's see. A community mourned the loss of their beloved mascot, a mannequin named Beverly. All right, South Africa, what are you doing with this mannequin? Installed in a dam on the outskirts of town by local artists a few years ago, the doll was a popular stopping point for visitors to Nieuwe Besada. I guess that's how you say it. Nieuwe Besada. And a welcoming sight to those returning home. However, residents were heartbroken when some sticky-fingered ne'er-do-wells managed to somehow extract the mannequin from the pool of water where she lived, despite being held in place by a heavy concrete base. Authorities are now on the hunt for Beverly in the hopes that whoever snatched the doll will do the right thing and return her to her community. Well, that's like Greg Brady taking the tiki doll from Hawaii. It was like nothing but bad luck after that. So whoever these dudes are, I hope they're getting bad luck now, because that's not cool. You steal somebody's mannequin. And the picture that came along with it, it's like it's a store mannequin, but it's like a blonde chick. So I don't know, wherever this is in South Africa. I'm not going to say anything else. It just makes me laugh. All right. Well, that is the show. I want to thank you all for listening. I hope I'm doing a good job without Denton. It's so much easier when he's here because we can bounce things off of each other, which I think makes for a much funnier show. So if this is your first time listening, we're not always this boring. I'm just this boring. But when Denton gets back, it's a much better show. But for all of you that have, stuck around and listened to my dumb ass, I appreciate it. I really do. I want you to know that. I'm not exactly... Ever since I went into the hospital and got back out, Denton and I had been talking about doing a no show. So we tried to change up the opening, and we decided we're going to do some different topics. Oh, speaking of which, I hope you guys liked Xander last week, the adventurer / naturalist. I had fun with that interview, and it was just cool getting to talk to somebody for a change and have an interview. Hopefully I'll get more. But I always want to thank him for coming on. Might have him on again one of these days. But if you like that interview and you want to hear more, we're going to try to get some. But like I was saying, Ben and I are trying to change things up a little bit just to broaden the show. I mean, we're never going to be polished talk show guys or whatever you want to call it, but that's kind of the way we like it. Hopefully you like it too. But again, I want to thank everybody for coming along the ride, and really hope you come back. Make sure you're safe out there. The world is a crazy place. So be safe, and we will see you next week.